Okay, so I want to start off by saying thank you to KPMG and especially my uncle Anis for having me here today. And also thank you, Dustin, from Rebellious Unicorns for putting on the MX every month and donating to the Etc. Youth Group. So when they asked me what the title of my talk was, the one thing that kept coming to mind was "It Takes a Village." What you may not realize is that this village includes all of you here this evening. And not only you, also my school, family, friends, and the Etc. Youth Group. When I was younger, I always played with the boys and would never wear a pink dress. At around the age of 9, I came out to my family as a lesbian, although I quickly realized that was not right for me. When I was 11, I came out to my family and then friends as a transgender boy. Soon after, I started hormone blockers, wanting to suppress puberty as soon as possible. Those all started a little over 2 years ago. I just started getting testosterone injections and I'm almost 6 weeks on now. So hopefully, my voice will get cracking and I'll get ripped pretty soon. But it wasn't always sunshine and rainbows, pun intended. When I was trying to discover my own identity, I was experiencing intense anxiety and sometimes couldn't last the whole day at school. I was 8. No 8-year-old should be worrying about discrimination and having to write their own identity story, let alone wanting to hurt themselves. I went to several counselors and psychologists and eventually turned the corner. But without the care I had at school and home, I'm not sure I'd be sharing my story today. At school, I'm supported by my teachers, administrators, school trustees, friends, and fellow classmates. Having my school in my village was and has been an essential part of my transition. They helped me overcome my anxiety and were supportive of my differences. Although there's been some bumps in the old school road, overall, they've been there for me, and I still greatly appreciate that. Many kids are left at school with no one to help them. Studies show that LGBTQ+ youth that are supported in school have a suicide rate that is 1/4 that of their unsupported queer peers. I had so much more help outside of school than you'd ever imagine. My family has always been supportive of me. They help me emotionally and help me communicate with my doctors and learn how to advocate for myself. But most significantly, my parents and big brother were there for me when I faced criticism and hate online. Whether it's hateful comments saying I'll always be a girl, to creeps asking questions about what's in my pants. They stood up for me when I needed it, but more importantly, were willing to stand behind me when I needed to speak my truth and wanted to fight my own battles. Never once did they even ever think of turning their backs on me. Having a home life like that drastically improved my transition. And having friends and classmates that accept me for who I am helped build me into the person I am today. I'm going to be old for a moment and say kids these days are the most loving and supportive kids of any generation, and I'm proud to say that. Even though some middle schoolers call me a tranny in the washroom and don't approve of my life, I don't care, because name calling is old school and this guy doesn't need anyone's approval. And when I can't say that to myself, and I let it all get to me, I know that I have a group of my friends, family, the Pride community, and my entire village to help me right back onto my feet, just as I would do for them. Now, when I was first trying to discover who I truly was, my mom found a group for LGBTQ+ youth, which all of you have heard of, called the Etc. Youth Group. At that time, being able to look up to the older kids and see pieces of myself in them meant the world to me. Recently, I haven't been able to attend very often, but it brings me peace of mind to know that I can always come to them for love and support. And it makes me happy to know that someday, maybe I'll get to be the older kid that a little trans boy looks up to. Now tell me, what do all these supports have in common? Well, they're part of a village. My village. The village that brought me light when I believed the world was only darkness. My village hangs out with me on weekends, drives me to my doctor's appointments, provides me with counselors, and gives me a safe space every Thursday, whether I come or not. And my village shows up to events like this to support those of us who are visible, but more importantly, those of us who can't be. The young kids, the closeted people, those who are no longer with us, and those who aren't safe to be so. By being here tonight, you're supporting all of us. You are not only in my village, but hundreds of villages that you didn't even realize you were part of. Thank you for being a safe piece of my village. Okay, so I have a poem, which is just called Queer Justice. I'm gonna share. In my recent TED Talk, I mentioned JT and how he passed Bill C-16. I've been told he's the reason I'm now safe, but I'm quick to deny it because matter of the fact is the first Pride March was a riot, led by black trans women throwing bricks at white cops because the police tried to make their queer lives stop. Marsha P. Johnson is the real reason we have parades, and those riots are why we don't need ones for straights. Because you aren't harassed for your gender or love, not somewhat or even kind of. Canada is surely leading in the world's queer justice, but that doesn't mean we've run out of room for more acceptance. Other countries are succeeding at high rates. India just legalized gay sex on September's first Thursday. Obama gave same-sex marriage a try, and now it's just called marriage by any good ally. It was recently queer people were still hated. In fact, I remember, because the truth is people still think there's only two genders, and yeah, Canada could be doing worse. I mean, on our team, we have MPs, mayors, and we're pretty damn diverse. But down south, they're doing bad. This Cheeto guy got the whole country in his hands. And his ignorance is a kind of hate. That ignorance causes kids pain. Some people still don't know what LGBTQ stands for. Let me explain so they understand more. Lesbian and gay are the simple first two. Then bisexual, that means you like girls and guys too. Transgender, that's me. Simply put, my mind doesn't match my body. And the Q, that means queer, which back in the day was a word used to cause fear, but now we've reclaimed it and it's an umbrella word. It's simply a term for all us folks to be referred, but there's many other identities than just those few, such as demi, poly, and asexual too. For some, labels are a social construct designed to tear you down. For others, labels are the only thing keeping their frown upside down, and you need to respect that. Because truthfully, it's a personal preference, and the world is changing step by step, every single country becoming more progressed. Accepting diversity is going to change our society, because people are like ice cream. We're better with more variety. And with this, I want to change the world to be more colorful and full of bliss. You see, I'm white and privileged and most certainly lucky, but it's surely not ideal to be born in the wrong body. Personally, I believe that everyone's body is a place to live. While all of you were gifted a home or temple, I was merely given an apartment for rental. While my home is under construction, I've been given somewhere to stay, and it's not quite time to move in yet. I'll have to wait a few more days. So why not make this house as cozy as I can? Because for now, this is the home of a handsome young man.